3, 2, 1. We are live. Action from the basement. Welcome, Dom.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Before we start, I'd just like to start with a little quote. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, so ready.
It's about time.
Okay, let's get it.
Time is what we most... What? I can't even read. I forgot how to read. You ready?
Dude.
Let's take 2.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I read like the third line instead. Okay, you ready? Time is what we want most, but what we use worst. Not bad, eh?
It's not bad. I mean, some people can relate. Some people can differ from that opinion, but interesting.
But it sets the tone.
It definitely sets a conversation.
So, now that we're here, we finally got together.
Yes.
What can you say about what you're doing right now, your work?
Okay, well,
Bring us on that journey.
Yes, I am definitely on a journey.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know where we're going, but it's a ride. I'm at Concordia. I currently am there full time, basically.
Okay.
But I have a 3-day schedule. So
like,
other 4 days of my week,
yeah.
Not going to say I have days off because I still work, but the other 4 days of the week is more like personal. I'm a cook. I work in a kitchen. So a lot of my time is spent cooking, and I wouldn't necessarily say drawing, which used to be what I used to do all the time.
Yeah.
Like when I was at John Abbott in college, because I used to just draw in class and doodle and literally not listen to the profs.
Yeah.
But university is not like that.
At all. Yeah, you have to stay focused.
They'll let you draw, but it's like, do you have the mental capacity to start drawing a whole new image when you have so much stuff to do? No.
Yeah, like essays and this
Oh,
and
yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, sometimes it gets tiring because it's like you want to be doing what you want to do, and then, you have these guidelines for your projects and they're so like specific. But what I've noticed in my program is like the teachers, they don't really care much about what you're making as long as you show you made effort and it is close to their guideline. Okay. Like, for example, like, because I'm studying design as a major in undergrad, we had to make an object.
Okay.
Literally anything. Some people made like stamps, and someone made a box, like just little trinkets. I made a chair.
Nice. Yeah, well, I saw it.
I didn't have to do a chair. I had the opportunity to do whatever as long as it was an object. And so I was like...
respected certain guidelines.
Yeah. So I'm learning. I mean, it's only my first year, so hopefully the second and third doesn't get worse. But...
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, we always have a certain fear of the future.
Yeah.
Because we wish we could have all the answers. But that's the beauty of the process.
Yeah.
It's being able to roll with the punches. So as you learn new things, you could bring those techniques into your art, into your life.
Exactly.
But how did you carry over what you already knew into your now bachelor's program? Like
undergrad,
my bad. Well, like undergrad, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, how did you carry over what you knew, and how different is it now from that? Or if it's similar?
The blessed thing was I studied ALC at Abbott, and we've been using Illustrator, Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere Pro, all of those programs like InDesign since like I was like 16, 17. And so that's cool. I mean, a lot of people going into my program, which is like 50 people per year and about like 30 because not everyone makes it. No. So you literally know everyone and where they're from. It's kind of like in your face. It's so like compared to like studio arts or fine arts or something like that. Like those programs, you could have like 200, 300 students. Yeah, my program is literally so selective, and it's like the best ones make it. So it's nerve-wracking. There's a lot of pressure. Yeah. And like we don't share the same teachers as like other programs. Like there are teachers. As well. They're all part-time. They're actual artists.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they go do their thing 6 months out of the year, and then they come study and whatnot. We'll teach.
Well, like one of them, he's got his own studio. Like he's doing like sculpting, and like he's teaching us on Tuesdays. Like it's cool. Nice. Yeah, so it's inspiring. Nice. Where was it even going with this?
We were talking about how did your knowledge carry over?
Right. So going into the first 2 weeks of school, I was like, damn, this is boring.
Oh, really?
None of these people knew how to use Illustrator. Miss, how do I export this file? How do I take a screenshot of my screen? Really? And I'm there in the back of the class, and I'm like, oh, man.
You're like, I just got into this.
This is CJEP again.
Yeah.
But, and I did talk to the teacher outside of class, because, I'm always curious their point of view, because she must be annoyed to be getting these questions if I'm annoyed hearing them. And I asked her, and she was like, you know what? She's like, it's always like this the first few months of, a new program or whatever for these people. Yeah. She's like, you just got to start everyone at A and then hopefully get to Z. And she's like, and I asked her, is it hard for you? Like, and she was like, yeah, it's hard, but she's like, this is my job.
You have to adapt.
So she calmed me down a little bit because I wanted to know her point of view.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's good to talk to your teacher.
And yeah, so that was the bummer of starting uni. But like now, like I think everyone's like, it's more like you got to run and catch up to the group. So like they had to run and catch up to me, kind of, but like not me personally, but to people like me that had all this prior experience in CJEP, because there's some people from Toronto, Ottawa, they're like 18.
Yeah, it's the thing is that they only had high school.
Yeah,
so
they're doing a 120 credit instead of 90 credit, which makes sense. But you know, we're doing 90 credit because we went to CJEP. So so that's the thing. But other than that, I'm having fun with what I'm learning, and I'm probably not gonna drop out. We'll see.
No, eh?
I mean, I feel like that's the thing with our generation. It's like, is university valuable? Are you wasting time for what you want to do? And as an artist, I feel like a lot of artists around me, they go through this struggle where they're like, okay, you know, like I'm doing these classes, I'm making this essay, but what the hell is this essay going to do with my life? But every time I've written an essay, which I hate writing, I like English, but I don't really like literature that much, like writing it. I always feel like I learned something from it, like, because you put so much work into it. And
it just shows work ethic. Like at the end of the day, finishing that essay and handing it in, getting a good mark,
it's fulfilling.
It's a sense of pride and whatnot. So, but what's cool about essays is that it teaches you critical thinking,
exactly,
and how to analyze art. So I've never hated essays. I never thought they were, you know, the worst thing like possible.
Useless, but
they were never useless.
I usually think they are.
Because the thing is that I think at one point after like writing your 5th or 6th page, you feel like it's redundant. But I think in the end, it all ends up working out. It'll pay off. Yeah. You'll just look back at it and be like, okay, it wasn't too bad. But the thing about being an art program that's great is that you also get to work with tools and work with professionals. Like you said, most of your teachers are actual artists.
Yeah, they're artists.
And it helps you to connect with people. So when you're going to a program like art, what I believe in is that people invest their money to connect with people and to use the tools that are provided for them just to like hone in on their craft and, you know, really like ask questions about themselves. Because I think at our age, it's important to ask the questions that matter most. Like, where am I headed? What am I supposed to do? It's a scary thing to ask because you always feel like
that's the thing. Like
overwhelmed,
there's
but you
so
have
many
to.
people that just go into university and they're not ready. Like, I'm happy I was ready. I can personally say I was ready because I was in college for 3 years.
Yes.
And there I definitely felt like I was wasting my time.
Yeah.
But now with what I learned there with like programs and like editing and, you know, like photography and video making, going into university, I'm like, okay, wasn't so bad. So I think a lot of people that are in university, most of them, they went in as mature adults, like 21 and over. And so a lot of them, like they skip, they come in late and everything. It's like, why go if you're not in it? You're paying it as well. And so that's another thing that like kind of makes people less
like
motivated.
hesitant.
Less motivated too. Like you see these people and you're like, damn, they're like group projects. Oh my God. The worst thing is to do group projects in any art program. Yeah. Anything art related, if you have to do a group project, there's always one person
that doesn't show up. Or
bro, you don't even see them drawing. Like there's some people I've never even seen them draw something, and I'm like, dude, like, are you in the right program right now? I don't want to be mean. I love you, but I'm trying to help you. But that's okay. It's like, because you don't even do any this stuff. Are you sure this is for you? Like, not that university isn't for you. You know, you still have time. You're young. But is the program for you? Exactly. So that's another thing. But like, luckily, I got a strong, hard head on my shoulders, and I want to get this degree because after that, I want to leave. I want to go to, I don't know, the States, get out of Quebec. But so probably most likely the States. Most likely the States, yeah. The money they have, the market, and this and that. Well, not necessarily the money. It's just that there's so much more creative opportunity there. There's a lot in Toronto, but the cost of living in Toronto is about the same as the States. Yeah. Maybe so even more. Just be there. I'd rather just be in the States or by the beach or. And what would you be doing? Yeah, what would you be doing? Like, Scary. What would you? Like, what's your main ambition right now as a career? Because obviously, being in graphic design, there's so many things you could do. But you're talking about like. I'm not even in graphic design though. What is it more specifically then? Design is just like you said. Okay, so design, like it's teaching you how to do critical thinking and analyzing things, like sustainability. There's a lot revolving around sustainability in my program.
Nice.
But that probably has to do, I don't know about design programs in other states or provinces or countries, but in Montreal right now, a lot of it has to do with sustainability because we live in a city, you know? So a lot of the art is like eco design, green design, stuff like that, just environmental. But they don't push that on you, but we learn a lot about that stuff. Green, like I don't know.
So you become more conscious of like the numbers
recycling
and what matters
you know, like
and
stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going with the flow, but
because you definitely have like a good eye for when it comes to art and a good mind. Like you make videos, you make graphic design, animation, you do like a lot of stuff. Now you built the chair. Like I know that's so simple. That it sounds so simple to say.
It was
but
not simple,
but it's not simple at all, and that's a part of the learning process. And like having the opportunity to like create all these cool stuff, but it was still like followed the theme of like what you usually draw and stuff.
Okay,
like,
so that's my goal as like an artist is
even
if it's for schoolwork, which I've been doing since I'm 17 at Abbott, is I like to do something personal and then submit it as homework. Or like make something multi-use. And so that's something I've noticed a lot with peers is that they'll half-ass something and be like, yeah, I'm doing this project. It's an object. I'm doing this. And then but I'm like, yeah, dude. But I'm like, what if you made something you can use after class is done, when the semester is done, and you know you have it. So, I mean, that's why I did a cool chair, obviously. But it's just not wasting time and using your time valuable. Like making valuable, like, how can we put this into a sentence?
Like
making use of your opportunities and like going to the extreme with it and just like not wasting time. That's it. Like just not wasting time. So like I made a chair. I'll have it with my grandkids, you know? Like,
basically. You can see like grandma built that.
She made that. She hammered those nails into it.
Yeah, like in 2019. Like that was a while ago. and that's what's crazy.
You sound like Grandpa Earl with that voice.
Oh my God. Listen to this. Kids, I have a story for you. But that's what's great about art. Is that it's a
story.
It's a story, but it's also it carries over for generations. Like you could make anything and just have that there.
And it can make no sense.
Ever. And that's the thing.
And that's what makes it cool.
And that's the thing. You could look back at it and be like, oh, and then like you have this critical eye about it and you're like, wow, like this is what it means to me now, but 20 years it's going to change. And like, you know, like, no, I'm not discrediting anyone in different programs because you need financial people, you need doctors, you need all that. But that's what's so cool about art is that it's a time capsule, right? You just last forever.
But I mean, anything could be time capsule, like medicine or history.
Of course, you need.
That's it. Yeah, and that's something else. It's like I want to leave a print. I want to do something important, and that's a very big stress. Your calling is
art and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very big stress. It's like you want to go down remembered. You know, like a legend, an icon. But, you know, like that's a little extra. But at the end of the day, like, like that is a dream of some people. And you shouldn't be ashamed of it. Like, you shouldn't be ashamed to say, yeah, I want to be a legend one day. Hell yeah, be a legend. Fulfill that. Ooh.
Oh, you hit the desk?
Yeah, I hit the desk.
Yeah, I know. It's the mic's sensitive.
Wow.
And it's you have to speak like right here.
Okay.
Because like, see how like, it
doesn't
changes.
Make it, it goes left ear, right ear.
All that.
I'll be centered now. Sorry.
That's all good.
Sorry to the listeners.
But no, yeah, that's super interesting. But that's the problem too. Like, started with that quote, and we were talking about it a bit. Is time, right? Like, people stress too much on time, and they want to put so much into one day. But what they need to understand is, let's say, like, they have this big goal. They want to be a legend, for example. They got to break it down. They got to reverse engineer like 10 years of their life and say, like, hey, if I want to be here, I got to look at the steps.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, do not drive yourself mad and be like, in 10 years, I got to have $1 million. I have to do this.
No.
Because that makes it worse. What I do personally is I'm like low-key day by day. Like low-key, but like high-key, I have like a 10-year plan. But like, I don't know.
You're not like, so you're okay in not necessarily being organized. Like, I'm not saying
I'm
like
very
you're disorganized, but like you could kind of work off the fly and just go with the feeling, or you rather have like a fucking plan.
I've never really thought about that. If I really think about it, it's a more like daily survival. It's like I have to do all these things on my list today, or tomorrow I will be pissed and like I'll have anxiety and I'll feel unfulfilled.
Yeah.
So like I make lists every day. I wake up. I had a list before coming here. And like I gotta go to the art store after here, you know, like things like that.
Yeah.
And if I don't do that, it's like it piles up.
Okay.
So like the fear of like letting things pile up
is
and
what
like adding
overwhelms
time
you the most. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you think at one point you just say, okay, well, this I can't really do anymore? Or everything on that list has to be done?
No, it has to be done. Yeah.
And at one point, like at what point do you say, okay, I have to take a step back and look at it at the big picture and really reorganize that? Is that something you'll do on a daily basis? Like you'll always say, okay, this is my list from yesterday. I didn't do this.
I add it to the next list.
And you just add it. You keep adding.
I'm literally like that, but it's nothing like crazy. It's like
it's just like chores, errands, or I want to do this. I want to take
like
this picture.
Homework. Or projects, or like start this submission, start this PDF file or whatever. Buy these things because, you know, like when you work almost full time and you go to school full time, you're barely like available during retail hours or anything like that.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like you gotta go to the store in between these 30 minutes. You gotta go do this.
You got that window.
Yeah,
you
seriously.
just gotta get there.
And if that window closes, you feel like you got defeated. It's like, you know, I feel bad for people that don't have a car or anything. It's like, damn, that really made my life easier when I got a car because the bus and then
that definitely like challenges you. But I think what's important to know what's important to understand is that people are better off being resourceful. Like no matter what they have, no matter what the circumstances are, there's always a way.
Yeah.
Right? Like how many hours do we sleep on average? Maybe like 7, 8. Well, average like
literally 6, 5.
That's the thing. Like of course, I think with the type of schedules we have and the time management skills we have, usually we'll be around 5, 6. But I think, you know, if we could put an average with, let's say, maybe 7, that means we have 17 hours
of stuff to do.
But people, they don't put that into perspective.
I think about that every day, yeah.
And that's the thing. They'll wake up and they'll be like, okay, well, I feel like doing this and that. And then it's noon and they're like, oh, I just lost my morning. I have to go do this, that, and this. So I think if you understand that you have 17 hours and being resourceful is probably your best friend, just saying, okay, well, this is what I have. How can I do this in 17 hours and have fun with it? Then it's kind of like a game. Then you just, you know, you play around and, you know,
crossing off your list.
It
feels
so
good.
gratifying. It feels so good because you're like, I did that. And that's the thing about, making your bed in the morning. It's
hashtag adulting.
Hashtag. Right? Yeah. It's like, or doing your laundry, like the simple things, but it's a small success, but it accumulates and then it becomes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is just like, I don't know, like taking care of yourself. Like sometimes you lose yourself in the process.
For sure, it's normal.
You know, like I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I don't do laundry for like a month because I'm like, this sucks. Like, you know, like I'm gonna have to be home for 5 hours. Damn. I'm never home for more than 2 hours max. And then those little 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
so it's
basically.
like, you know, like I did one batch yesterday. I did one batch before coming here. Now it's wet. I'm gonna have to go home fast and put it in the dryer. You know, like things like that. It's like, okay, like you said, windows.
Windows.
But it's all planned. And so that's something that really stresses me. It's like, damn, why does everything have to be? But that's obviously, this is my burden. I don't have to be working this much. I don't have to be doing all these, you know, like personal like projects. I don't have to be doing that.
Absolutely.
It's my madness.
Of course.
I chose this madness. And so like I have friends that are simple, you know, they do their homework, they Netflix and chill or whatever.
And that's it.
They go have a drink and it's stuff like that. But then like for me personally, as soon as I go for a drink, after that, the rest of my night or whatever, even if it's one beer, I'm schlumped.
Yeah.
I'm gonna waste my entire evening.
Yeah.
So personally, I've had my fair share of partying and all that, but I don't do that stuff anymore.
For sure. And it's all perspective. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, what we're talking about now doesn't relate to anybody. To everyone, sorry. And
to anybody.
Sorry,
Dom.
We're the only
Your
two
opinion's
people.
Not valid.
We're the only two people on this planet that think like this. No, but and that's the thing. I understand this doesn't relate to everybody, but that's fine. Like, because you said like some people are more comfortable with just
simplicity.
That's it. And then like go to school, go to work, watch Netflix. But in your case, you prefer the madness because that's what drives you. That's what allows you to wake up.
It's the adrenaline. It makes me feel better about myself that I'm doing these things. I'm getting shit done. Yeah. And like I have a really good like following base. I mean, it's a good number. It's like people support me, and that's it brings up your self-esteem. It's like I'm not wasting my time. Yeah. There's people that enjoy what I'm doing and they notice my hard effort. And you know, what I often feel like is like I'm running in circles trying to make a name of myself.
Okay, so you say suck on the same thing often, or you're just
I don't know.
you're
it's
stuck
like
because you're like doubting, or you have like a fear or
it's like,
something.
okay, I'm 20, chill out, Dom. You know, like
Yeah,
those
like
little
you
pep
have
talks.
time.
Those little pep talks, but it's like you could see like people with whole ass labels at 20 years old, like music productions, and you're like, damn, like they did that, and it's just like, yeah. But so that,
of course, I mean,
that's a little detail that like is what makes it hard on like someone as an artist. It's like when.
Yeah, that's, and again, it's all about the time, right? It's the timing, it's the when. But one thing that I think is super important is that, yes, we look at people ahead of us to find a reference. So what that means is, let's say, like you said, a 20-year-old has a record label, or they started a company. You're like, okay, so if he or she's doing that, then I know I'm capable of doing something similar, but with my truth, like whatever matters to me. So, you know, if you compare yourself to people, I think that's where you have to draw the line. It's just to get a reference to be like, okay, what are they capable of doing? Now I have to go do my thing. Because if you're like, well, they have a record label and I don't, well, that's because you're not working.
I don't want a record label anyone, but
yeah, no, exactly. Do you want a record label?
I don't know.
Hey, here's my card. No, but
could be cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a great.
I'm not musically inclined.
No, we'll stick in design then.
Yeah.
But no, that's the thing. Like, whatever your truth is, whatever you want. Like, it's just that if you also have to walk the walk. Going back to what we were saying, like, I don't want to make it sound like we're saying everyone has to make their bed. They all have to do these things. No. It's just that if you're saying like, I want to be a millionaire, you have to understand that there's a lot of things that go with that.
A lot of work and effort.
A lot of work. But if you're like, I just want to work,
or if you're just like, I want to be a millionaire, and then you're like mopey, and you're just like,
let it be handed to me. Like, doesn't work that way.
No, and that's, like you said, the fine line between knowing the difference of inspiration, admiration, and all of that. And so I like to say, like, most days, like, yeah, like 90% of the time it's inspiration, but there are those 10% of the times where I'm like comparing myself, and every human does that. It's in our human nature. And so, I mean, anyone can relate to that aspect. Comparing yourself to people doesn't have anything to do with being an artist.
No, absolutely
it's just get out there.
Yes.
Work at it. And some people have a hard time finding that motivation. And as an artist, like, as my message most of the time, it's I just want people to live their truth. I just want people to do what they want to do. And like, my art being so versatile and like having some talkovers in my videos and stuff like that, usually the feedback I get is like, this was inspiring, this was this was that, and that's freaking awesome.
Yes.
And you know, they're my inspiration, because now I'm like, wow, these people like what I have to say. Like, my voice isn't nerdy, like I know how to edit, maybe. Like, some of the times it's recorded with my iPhone. I'm not like you, Phil,
but it works.
But,
I know.
And it works. So things like that is like, okay, cool. And yeah, it's like, I wouldn't necessarily say like not letting people down, but just people's expectations are high, or like their hopes are up. So like, when I release something, I put so much effort into it, and you know, like, I go through art blocks. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I hate those.
It's normal.
And like, but art blocks to the public, but there's so much going on in my head, in my sketchbooks. Like, there's so much stuff going on. But like, is it ready to get released? Do I want to like, no. And so I just had one like last month, and I mean, I'm going through one a little bit right now, but I mean, I just released my chair, which is something I didn't post about for too much, which was really hard.
Kept that like low key?
Yeah.
Is it because you were afraid of the,
I wasn't ready.
Feedback? You just weren't ready.
Yeah.
So it's more of a feeling.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I think? Because you were going to post it no matter what.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Like, I'm one of those, like, most people can relate to this. You're like, okay, I'm gonna have this picture in this way when I'm done this, or like, you know, like that's the millennials, 2019. Right? Our generation, we think too much about that stuff.
Yeah, we overthink a lot.
So I was like, yeah, I'm ready. When it's done, I'm gonna wear like this outfit, and I'm gonna be holding the chair like a club, like I'm gonna hurt someone, and you know, like those little things. And then you do it, and it's like, cool. Like 2 months ago,
and then you're like, okay, that feels great.
Yeah, done.
You
next
knock it
chapter.
off the list.
Yeah, turn the page
onto the new thing. But that's what's cool. What you mentioned about like an art block, an artist block, like, you, to the public, it seems like you're gone.
But then there's so much going on.
But at home, you never stop anything.
Yeah.
Like, you're either thinking of the next big idea, you're thinking about how can I manage my time differently.
Yeah.
You're talking about, well, you're thinking to yourself, like, anything. But that's what's cool, is that unfortunately the way social media works and just the way certain things work, there's that pressure that could be put on.
That's another thing.
Those expectations. But do you think, like, does that affect you, or have you been able to, like?
So I mean, Instagram. Let's talk about Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
Instagram is a portfolio. I mean,
Yeah.
I've sent my Instagram tag to interviewers and like on my resume, and it worked. I don't have to make a PDF every time.
No.
I just say, hey, this is my Instagram. If you have any questions, if you want me to provide a PDF or a portfolio, let me know in an email. And most of the time I get the call and then you get the job or whatever.
Yeah.
It works. And that's our generation. Like, you can just Google someone's name and you find so many things.
Yeah.
And like, I'll have random people at work, like the dishwasher, be like, hey, Dom, you know, like last night I spent 4 hours watching your videos. You're amazing. And I'm like, dude, you're so cute. I'm like,
so cool.
You watch my videos? Like, you're so cute. And like, this is like an older lady and stuff. And I'm like, that's cool. You know, like all ages can appreciate what I'm doing. And that's what I want. I do not want to categorize myself. And so that's an expectation for myself.
Yeah.
People probably don't see that. They're probably not like, oh, Dom only makes art for like younger generation. Like, no one thinks about that. That's you. So sometimes I have to like put aside my feelings and opinions and be like, I'm the only one feeling this way, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, you just get out of your head too much. Like, so sometimes, you know, like I go on long vacations or I spend a week hanging out with friends. Like last week, I don't see friends often. I just make time to take a break, catch up on like my childhood friends, like just relax a little bit. And then usually I come out inspired, and I feel guilt for a long time because I don't like, that's the thing during artist blocks, you don't see people. You start getting in your head, you know, you're in your room. I live in a basement too. So it's like, you don't see the daylight because you're at school, and you come home, it's dark, and you leave when it's dark, and you know, the cycle. And that's the feeling of wasting time. And I always have to be like, I did a lot today. And so I think that's a big reason why I have to make lists, and I need this madness.
Absolutely.
It's just to keep myself, I'd say, mellowed out. Some people would say it's not mellow. You know,
yeah,
I'm
but
running
keep
around
you
all
sane
day.
Or just, because that's the thing. I think it's important to look at what you have to do and then maybe give yourself a week. Mm-hmm. So you do it on a daily basis. That's super cool. I think when you're able to get to that point, you should do it. But sometimes maybe drawing out the whole week and then saying, okay, well, I'll do this that day, et cetera, so that when Sunday comes around
and
you've completed, you're like, you know what, I could take the day and go see friends, because we all have to, or I'll go see, you know, or I'll go for a walk and like just
let's
disconnect.
Talk about procrastination.
Yeah, because you know what I mean. That's usually what happens. Because
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like you're like, okay, I'm gonna set up my week like this. This is what's gonna look like, and then Friday comes around, you're like, oh shit.
But then, you know, like Wednesday night you binged an entire season, and then like Thursday you ended up window shopping with your buddies for no freaking reason. You know, like little things like that, and that's fine. Go with the flow. It's life. Follow the wave.
Yeah, like, and then you tell yourself, like, you know, it's fine. Like, I could do this tomorrow. I could do all of this tomorrow.
That's like
we're only Wednesday.
I wonder if our parents had that issue.
I'm sure they did.
But they didn't have the internet. I mean, I think them it was more like physical, like going out with friends and hanging out. Us, it's like I'll literally be on the weird part of YouTube for like 2 hours watching documentaries and ASMR videos. And like, what am I doing? Like unwrapping Amazon gifts and like deliveries. Or like, I just bought this huge listing on eBay of the Amazon warehouse returns. You know, like those big boxes, those hauls where it's like, I just spent $2,000 on, and you just watch that, and it's like 40 minutes, and this girl opening up irons and makeup and a box of condoms or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like, dude,
like surprises.
Why am I watching this?
I know. Because then that's the thing. The video stops, and you're like, whoa. What did I just do?
Yeah, you look at the time. Oh, it's midnight. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, maybe time for bed. Or maybe I should do my homework.
And then it's like, do I sleep tonight?
Yeah, basically, right? Yeah. It's like that question. That's the ultimate question.
Mark.
Should I like just pull an all-nighter? And then you start calculating, like, if I get 5 hours of sleep, by the end of the week, I'll still hit a good total. Yeah, you know what? I'll just pull an all-nighter. I can't do that anymore.
I've done it.
I'm like a dad. I have to go to bed at 9. It's getting late. It's like I can't.
My work for the longest time was 8 p.m. to like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So earlier you made a comment about how like by 12 you haven't done anything with your day. I would wake up at 12 or like 2 p.m. But sometimes 4 p.m. because I was deceased.
Yeah.
I'd wake up at 4 p.m. and I'm like, damn, I work in 4 hours.
What do I do? Yeah.
I have 3 hours, realistically.
Yeah.
What do I do in 3 hours? You shower, you make food. Okay, you have an hour left.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
I was like, I just wasted my entire day. And so, like, that's a big reason why, like the theme of, like, time is always in the back of my mind, because it's like, use it valuable. Like, you do something. And so right now I think I'm on a good track. I mean, school's done in 4 weeks, and by summer, and you know, time to relax and wind down a little bit, and which I still end up doing like 60-hour work weeks just for fun.
But how does that work with you? Let's say when school's done, now you just cleared up
grind time,
like 25 hours off your schedule,
25 maybe, more like in work.
So you'll go right to work. So how many what's your average, like 85? You're able to do like 85?
I mean, 90? I don't calculate it because I hate numbers. I hate thinking about
you're just
that.
like, I don't know.
And like, that's
again, probably relates back to time. When you see that, you're maybe like, whoa, I'm spending a lot of time doing that, and you're just like, I'm not down to see that. It's
more like if I work at 3 p.m., I'm like, okay, I have until 3 to do this day, and just especially when school's done, it's really fun. You do like a project a week or something like that.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I find time.
But do you still have access to the labs at school?
I don't know,
and stuff,
actually.
Like studios and all that?
I'm honestly like scratching the surface. Yeah, I'm getting good grades, but like I don't really like hang out with like school associations, which I should, because you should get involved and like do stuff like that. I don't even know like these. I barely have time. It's like the homework is so demanding.
Yeah. So how many you have? But you said you have 3 days of school.
Yeah.
So that's how many classes?
They're like 3 full days, 4 classes. If anyone takes 5, good luck. 5 in universities.
Yeah, 5's a lot. People do it. But
the people that do 5 usually they don't have a job. You know, they're getting help, which is awesome. Like, good. Like,
no, but if you can, you can.
Yeah, if you can, you can. That's it. But I mean, me, like personally, 5 would be
too much.
No,
and also for your sanity. I know we talk about your madness. You're okay with it, but I think also what's great about your madness is that you find a balance, or you try to
knowing yourself.
That's the thing. Like, rather than work
and. The difference is
on a project.
Like, I know a lot of Americans and like people in college there and university, and so many Quebecers hate on CEGEP. It's a hate love for me. It's like CEGEP. While you're there, you think you're wasting time because you're around all these bad influences and people that are either in high sciences or high math or whatever. And then you have the people doing like, you know, anything. I don't want to call out people in like other programs.
Yes,
we'll talk about the high science or whatever, but other programs.
Yeah,
and they're doing other things, and it's just like. I was the median. I was in the middle. I was like...
Yeah, I like that.
Exactly. The little reference
there. Little median reference. I like that.
Added in there into the sauce. And that's the thing. It prepared me and it made me more mature. And I don't know. Like I'm saying, don't go to university if you're not sure. It's expensive too.
For sure. It's a big investment. And
like a lot... I don't know. I have this issue with like... close friends where they go and then they drop out after a month or something like that, and it's like it's freaking hard to dip back in after that. It really is.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna drop out yet, which I won't because I'm just being dramatic.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
But it's like if I do, I do.
Yeah, and you're gone.
Yeah, because as an artist, I don't know about anyone else like into other programs, but as an artist, because it's like you can be a freelance artist.
Of course. It's accessible now.
Or you
become more accessible more and more. Because of everything, you know, your laptop
hard work
can do for you
or
whatnot.
Is your education now.
Yes.
Gotta work your way up, and that's it.
And the thing about that is you just have to get used to like 90-hour work weeks and stuff like that. You know, like as an artist, as a freelance artist, you're your own boss in some way. Like, you'll still probably end up working for people and you'll have deadlines.
But the dream.
Of course, the dream is always having your own record label.
Yeah, record label. That was just an example.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what my dream is, you know? So that's it.
Fine.
It's like whatever I do now will impact my future. So do good now.
Of course, because it's work ethic. It follows you.
That's it, man.
Right? No matter what you do now, right? It pays off in the end. Like we said, we talked about essays and all that. Right?
Man, I hate essays.
It's okay. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it.
Thank you.
Is it time for you to go now?
No, I have another like 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay,
yeah. What do you want to talk about next? Like, I don't know. So we spoke about time. We spoke about school, CEGEP, you know, like people's point of views on how it could waste time for them. And it's all personal. It's how you want to control your future. And
you should have to have the confidence with what you're doing.
And I feel like there's so many more societal pressures as an artist. You know, we could talk about that for days. And it's like,
oh yeah, you could come back on the podcast. We have a lot of things we could talk about.
Yeah, we could talk for hours, dude.
100%.
Yeah,
once I get like a setup where I could record longer and stuff, just like parentheses, I'll definitely start looking at
like
longer
panels or something.
Yeah, longer stuff like seasons or whatnot.
It'd be cool to do like debates or something, you know.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. It's right
Politically
now. It's
correct debates.
Yes, it has to be. But like, I definitely have ambitions with that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I'm just gonna stop being a perfectionist and saying, well, this has to be right. Just do it. Just post it and then
follow the wave. Do
it.
your best.
And that's it.
And stop caring about other people's opinions or whatever and like their pressures. It's your best work.
That's it.
It's hard, right? We have a lot in common about that.
It's very difficult because, like we were talking about, we're human.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're always gonna want to compare yourselves to other people, and you're always gonna want to take the judgment and have the negative define you. But that's what's so difficult is disassociating yourself. Disassociating. I don't even know if I said
disassociating.
Disassociating.
Yes.
Disassociating.
That's it.
That's it. Perfect.
From the spell it?
Yeah, exactly. What's the origin of the word?
DISS. I actually don't know.
From there, I'm
autocorrect.
Autocorrect.
Hashtag autocorrect generation.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's a problem.
Well, here's the thing, though. We're gonna have kids one day, or we're gonna have our friends who have kids, and then we're gonna eventually see this younger generation grow up. And then what's going to happen is they're going to grow up on phones.
Yeah. It's already happening. 2000s and up, like.
That's the thing. We're going to see it, and then we're going to have, no more use for a dictionary, for
books.
This or the books. So, and that's where we're headed. It's like, it's going to become a norm. I just hit the mic.
It's fine.
We're going to hit the norm. We're going to get to that norm where it's like, we don't need a dictionary anymore. We could just use autocorrect.
There's two sides to that. There's some people that are like really scared for that day to happen. And there's some people that are positive and they're like, we're going to adapt. We've always adapted.
Of course.
When the computer came out, we adapted. When Wi-Fi came out, we adapted. So it's like either you stay in the past and you're negative, or you realize that that was 40 years ago, man. Saddle up.
Yeah. Yeah. Put on the big boy
pants. It's the technological era, and I'm in the middle. Books are important. There are history, print, and that's a big thing about studying design is we learn a lot about I have to make books and pamphlets and stuff like that, and it's so fun to make something physical and print it yourself, and lithography and just sketching, printmaking, stuff like that. And I hope that those certain people that know it keep passing it on, and that's what scares people so much about history is that remembering history and remembering where you come from. And it's when we're 60. How our parents are always in 10 years, we're going to be flying cars. There's going to be no more gas,
the electric cars and the flying.
When's it happening?
Yeah, and it's not going to be... we have Tesla. We have certain car companies
they want to make trucks that drives themselves. I saw that. That's kind of scary.
He had a panel with a truck. Yeah. And now he has SpaceX as well.
I don't know what that is.
So basically SpaceX is they're like NASA.
Okay.
Look, for lack of a better term, I know it's maybe an uneducated guess of what their true mission is.
Yeah.
But I know they want to go to Mars, and right now they're testing with shuttles. And
cool.
They were able to send astronauts to the International Space Station recently. So he built a shuttle, sent them there, and now he's proving to the world that with his ambitions, his dreams, that he could do it all.
That's dope.
So now the next step would definitely be Mars. If I'm not mistaken, he wants to definitely go there. Well, maybe not, obviously not himself, or maybe, I don't know if he'd want to go himself, but long story short, he's definitely innovating in the right direction. We got to go more green, more electric. We got to start exploring and whatnot. But that's probably one side of the coin. That's one script for the future, and there's probably something else.
Yeah, we could have a whole episode
AI,
on that.
100%. People talk about AI, the future, and stuff. Blade Runner was the original was in the 1980s.
Yeah, we could have movie panels and stuff like that.
100%.
Analyzing movies.
We could talk about that because what's beautiful about
your
Blade Runner
films
is that it was set in 2019.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it was 2019. So the year we're living in right now was the set for
when was it
Blade
made?
Runner.
The movie.
I think it was 85. 24.
Sick. Okay.
Or younger. Because now there's the new one that came out, Blade Runner 2049.
It's like when the Back to the Future and all that, you know.
Yeah, he's like, we're going to 2002.
Hovering skateboards.
Yeah, like,
well, we got a hoverboard and it's shitty.
Yeah, like, we're not there yet. We got the Nike boots that he has. Like, the Nike shoes
like
that, like, sell
3K on Grailed, you know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
3K on Grailed, yes.
Yeah,
more.
probably
like,
more.
I think they only made, like, one, and they sold it for, like, over $30,000.
Well, I mean, I've seen rap artists with them. And,
oh, okay. Then they're probably accessible then for, like...
Hell yeah.
For the elite.
You got the money.
But no, I think it's all important to do these things.
Yeah.
And stuff. Now I'm being very vague because, like, I think we kind of closed that chapter. But I had a question for you though.
Yeah.
Because I think what we're talking about is great, but I want to know, how can someone who wants to follow your path, I know you're still young, so you might not know all the answers, but someone who might be listening or someone who's interested,
someone who's lost, or
design or lost, like, what's some advice you could give them so that they find some type of truth? Or
what I did is I did everything. I did painting, graphic
Mm-hmm.
design, video making, like filmmaking, just all these different aspects of it. You know, woodworking, wood engraving, whatever, man.
Like,
just
literally everything. Took all the risks.
And that's just the best way to find out what you like. And, like, don't be scared about learning a new skill, because and that's the thing, investing in yourself. Like, yes, I've spent a lot of money on, like, random things, and I have art drawers of stuff I don't use. And it's like, sometimes I give it to people, and that feels good. It's like someone else is going to, like, follow this path and try to do something. Just try everything. Don't limit yourself. Like, yes, money is hard to acquire. You need to work for it. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. Money was a big aspect. So I've been working since I'm 16 for all these hobbies and passions. And, you know, like, at first it was soccer for 16 years. I was going to be an athlete. And then now I'm like, damn, like, I'm really not athletic anymore. And I wasn't really drawing in those days either until I was 16. I didn't really pick up.
So 16 was crayons. Really when, like...
Well, I mean, I was always good in art class, and my mom's very, like, artistically inclined. She likes design. She's always on Pinterest making mood boards and all that. Like, I was just always around. Like, my mom's into architecture and stuff like that. Until I was 16, 17 and started doodling, it started with Zentangle. And, you know, I don't do Zentangle at all. It's like those little geometric lines with black ink and markers. Those little tattoos align with, like, all these little triangles and little circles and little things. That's how I started. So, and I'm nowhere near what I used to do. So just start somewhere and just dabble into things, and just don't be scared. And, you know, if you suck at one thing, yes, you can give up because you have so many other options, but don't just give up. Yeah. So that's the thing. My goal as an artist is to perfect all these different, like, my parents ask me all the time. I have pressure from them. What are you doing? What do you want to do? Yeah. Oh, you made you made this. You're printing books now. You're doing this. Like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, Mom, I don't know, man.
like, stop pressuring me.
I'm just like, they know that it's. Like, I know it's not like that for them, but they want me to be happy, and they want me to choose one thing. So
just making sure I
just want to be a pro. I just want to. I want to be like, I could do all these things, and, you know, that's the thing. Just don't give up, and don't be afraid to tell people, hey, man, I can make you a video. I could also take your pictures. I could also paint your wall. I could also give you a mural. Sometimes it's like, these people probably think I'm pulling this out of my ass.
But it's like, I could.
Hey, man, look at my Instagram, okay? Like, I'm not full of shit.
Yeah, basically.
Like, I could do a few things, and, like, it would help me that we work together and collab. And collabing is something, like, working with other artists. That's how I started, collabing, making someone a little album cover. And that was fun. Because, you know, you don't always edit the best yourself. You need an outside point of view. And
of course.
Getting an outside point of view, that's a good advice.
From someone that knows more than you, or something different.
Or just advice like, hey, Dom, like, that color is a little much, or, you know, like, just, like, change your words. Or,
and then from there you become your own artist.
And then you develop and blossom.
And then you become Dom.
I can't say I've fully blossomed. We'll say I'm ever growing.
You're ever growing, and you'll always grow.
Thank you.
So, Dom, I think we could wrap this for today.
I think we can.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me. It was fun.
2 more things.
Yes.
We just got to tell the lovely people listening and watching where they could find you. That way we could go.
Well, I mean, I've been plugging my Instagram.
Yeah, no.
Well, Dom XOX. And that's just, like, where all my stuff happens. I'm not on Twitter. I used to be on Twitter and stuff like that. Facebook is for personal use, and that's it. Really, that's just Instagram. I wanted to keep it simple. I want to make a website eventually, but, you know, probably
it's coming. It's in the works. There's no worries.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then the last thing, I like to end off with this very on the spot question. If you don't have an answer, it's okay. But I really believe in inspiring through the podcast, trying to find, a theme of some sort. That way people listening and watching could take something and, I guess learn from it.
Yeah.
So what would be your favorite quote? Something that really matters to you, something you hold to heart. Is there anything that comes to mind?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear that quote.
If not me, who? If not now, when? By Emma Watson for the He for She campaign.
Bless. I love that one.
I've been saying this quote to myself almost every day for like 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Everyone listening and watching, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. We'll be back, down
the wave, up the wave.
We'll be back with Dom in the future. So thank you again, everybody.
Bye.
That's a wrap. Take care. Bye. Yo. Thank you so
That was
much.
beautiful.